What's going on, guys? And as we get ever closer to the 2022 NFL season, as you guys know on the channel, I have been previewing every single team going into the 2022 season and give my thoughts on what happened on the off season and shit like that. And at the end, I give a prediction of where they're going to finish, what team has done worse, are they better than last year when they from last preseason to this preseason. But anyway, we've done the NFC South. Now we're going to the NFC North, and we're going to go. There's a couple of teams you can look at in the NFC North. You've got Green Bay, but after that it's Vikings and Bears football. But I'm not talking about the Bears. No, I just wanted to say Bears football. We're talking about Lions football. That's right, Detroit Lions. The 2022 preview of in the NFC North, and let's recap what happened last season. Dan Campbell's first season as a head coach. You know what? Yeah, I know everybody was memeing him for having passion, and he was crying in one of his press conferences. And the whole meme last year of taking kneecaps. He was doing an Owen Hart tribute, taking kneecaps. But you look at what he did last year, Dan Campbell. Yeah, you could say there was 3-13. There was 3-13-1. They tied one game, lost 13, won 3. That was the best he could do with that team of players he had. Let's be honest, because this team of players he had, that's best he could do with 3 wins. He got a win over the Cardinals in that win, and then they tied against Steelers. If they won that game, they would have beaten the Steelers for the first time since I think 1950 or something like that. 1950, they would have beaten at Heinz Stadium. But anyway, that was then. We go on to this offseason. And the one thing they needed to address is the quarterback position. They needed a quarterback. Doesn't matter if it was in the free agency, it was in the draft, they needed a quarterback. Because you cannot go another year with Jared Goff as your quarterback. Not just starting quarterback. Okay, you got some wide receivers that you had in this draft, and last year you had some wide receivers that were, they showed some promise, whatever. But you need a quarterback. You go into this 2022 season still not addressing the most important thing in football, which is the quarterback position. You're having another year with Jared Goff as your starting quarterback, when you could have had a Jordan Love who was... I keep saying this, and people say, oh, you're going to be a fanboy of this, but Jordan Love needs game time. He's just going to be on the bench for Green Bay for 3 years because Rodgers has just got this new deal in Green Bay. Oh, I don't know, maybe do something good for your franchise and get Jordan Love and have him in Detroit and let him start as a quarterback because he's got to do a better job than Jared Goff. I don't want to hear everybody saying, well, he was in a Super Bowl. Yeah, we didn't win the Super Bowl. The thing is, stop accepting mediocrity. Mediocrity and start actually acting like a franchise. Dan Campbell has potential to be a good head coach in the NFL. But he only can work with so much, and he's not got a quarterback. Why not take a gamble on Malik Willis? Take a gamble on Kenny Pickett, whoever. But you don't even address the quarterback position. You want to actually stay with Jared Goff. When in the NFC North in a couple of years, you're going to have Rodgers, who's nearly retiring after his 3-year deal. Nobody knows how Justin Fields is going to be. Is Justin Fields going to get 4,000 yards, or is it going to be a bust for him? Let's be honest. Second season, you got to think 4,000 yards. You've got Kirk Cousins, who needs replacing as a quarterback himself in the Vikings, and they have Kevin O'Connell. How's he going to be as a new head coach, moving away from the Mike Zimmer era? This was a good time for Detroit here, that you could get at least second in the division and build something you have. I want to talk about the other things that they got in the draft. But people say, oh, you can wait next year for Bryce Young or C.J. Strauss. Much as I like them as quarterbacks, the time is now. You could have done something for Malik Willis or a Kenny Pickett. You could have got them and got higher in the draft. But anyway, in the draft, they got Aiden Hutchinson, which is, again, you get a defensive player when you don't have a quarterback. But, I just got him on the channel, so if you want my full insight on Aiden Hutchinson, I've got that in the I have a playlist for that for the scout report, so check it out. They got Jameson Williams, a wide receiver, James Mitchell, and they got Malcolm Rodriguez, a linebacker. And again, like you've got protection in a linebacker in Malcolm Rodriguez, and I don't know how good Jameis Williams is. He's a wide receiver, but again, Jared Goff's doing all these stupid ass. Again, he's a bad quarterback. And then you look at the schedule going into week 1. You have Philly again. Philly are the favorites, in my opinion, to win the Super Bowl this year. Them and the Rams. So that's a tough test week when you have Philly in a afternoon game. Then you have the week 2. You have the Commanders. Then you got a division game in the Vikings. Then you got the Seahawks, who are in transition themselves. Then you get to week 5, and you're against Mac Jones and Bill Belichick's New England. How are you going to look after that? Again, I know that Malik Willis, he could have been the guy that could have been the franchise of the 2022 season for Detroit, but you want to wait for 2023 and see if you can get a C.J. Strauss or a Bryce Young instead of actually going now in the draft. Because what if Bryce Young and C.J. Strauss are busted in the NFL? They're not actually the thing, and you're waiting for 2023 to see, to Seattle need a quarterback and the Vikings need a quarterback. How's Justin Fields going to be? There's a lot of questions going to be going on in Detroit in the next 12 months. And I'm very interested to see how this 2022 season pans out, how it really fares. And, leave you guys' thoughts in the comments, guys.